On October 12th, 2000, a normal, everyday woman named Mary Morris was murdered in Houston, Texas. Tragic, right? Fast forward 3 days, October 15th, 2000, another woman murdered in Houston, Texas. Her name, Mary Morris. Nearly 26 years later, both of their murders remains unsolved.
Ooh. I didn't realize it was unsolved.
Yeah.
Oh, what a twist. Hello, friends and family. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Bazaar. I'm Jessica.
I'm Montana.
And if you're new here, hi, hello. We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting.
So on our podcast, we hang out and dive into the bizarre, the spooky, and the things that just feel a little too weird to be coincidence. From true crime and paranormal encounters to unexplained mysteries and everything in between, we cover the stories that don't quite fit anywhere else. Each week, we take turns doing the deep dive research while the other reacts, speculates, and unpacks the story as it's being told in real time. So if you like weird shit and chill vibes, you're in the right place. Make sure to follow and subscribe, and we're here every Sunday.
So I think the only update we have this week is we'll give a shout out to Conspiracy Chaos Podcast. We were on their podcast, I think last week. Not sure when the episode comes out, but go check them out.
Yeah, they're a little bit different than us as far as the content that they cover, but it's definitely under the umbrella of what we do. A lot of conspiracy stuff. I know he seemed very interested in the stuff that's going on with the missing scientists now and maybe the conspiracies behind that. Bigfoot stuff, cryptid things. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hop over there and check them out.
Very nice guys. And, you know, it wouldn't be us being on someone else's podcast when something doesn't go wrong. So Bentley actually makes an appearance on the podcast. So that was fun editing for him. But here we are.
Last time it was my dog. This time it was Montana's dog. Just you never know what you're going to get with us.
And he lost power or he lost connection or something. I was like, it's fine. It's us. We're used to it.
Yeah, we bring the chaos.
Keep going.
We bring it with us. I guess it was fitting for the name of their show.
There you go. Well, are you ready to get into the episode?
I'm ready and I'm very excited. I've never heard about this before, and I didn't realize that it was an unsolved case, which I know it's terrible to say that I like unsolved cases, but I guess it's because it's still a mystery that can be solved. So maybe that's why I'm drawn to them. But yeah, I didn't realize it was a cold case. So I'm very excited.
Well, I didn't realize it was unsolved either when I first heard of this or of the murders. I saw it on Bizarre Murders, and they kind of twist things and kind of change the scenarios. So they take some things that are true and some things that are not. They change the names, things like that. So in that show, they solved the case. And in that show, it was the husband that did it. And as we deep dive into the story here, to me, the obvious answer is the husband. But I'll let you decide. So you can decide who you think that the killer is. They do come up with a scenario. And to me, honestly, it's the scenario that makes the most sense. But we'll see.
We'll see. I'm excited.
It wouldn't make it on our podcast if it wasn't a bizarre story.
Weekly Bazaar.
On the morning of October 12, 2000, 48-year-old bank loan officer Mary Lou Morris said goodbye to her husband Jay as she left for work and she was never seen again. She did not answer her husband's calls throughout the day. She also never showed up at her longtime job as a loan analyst at a bank off Katy Freeway in West Houston. Marilyn, Mary's daughter, said, quote, "My mom didn't make it to work that day. When I got to her house, I just remember when I pulled up, there was a cop there." End quote. So Marilyn and her stepfather, they're getting worried, so they decide to drive Mary's commute to work in hopes of even finding her car. Hours had passed and there was still no sign of Mary or even her car. Marilyn even called the hospitals to see if a woman with a description of her mother was checked in. Nothing. Later, Marilyn receives a phone call from her stepfather saying he heard authorities found a burned car near Crosby, Lynchburg, and I-10, which was not far from Mary's house. And when I mean not far, only 3 miles from Mary's house.
It's crazy how many cases, murder cases specifically, they happen either in the home or so close to the home. Like even the ones that haven't been solved and they can't find a body, a lot of times they'll find them and they're not even that far from the home. It's crazy.
It's also very creepy because it means someone's
Yes.
probably watching you.
True.
It's like the minute you exit your house, it's like, okay, free game. Here we go. So immediately Marilyn and her stepfather, they drove to the area. She said, quote, "I wanted to drive because I wanted to get wherever this was as soon as possible," end quote. And Marilyn said that she could not see the burned car, but there was a sheriff's deputy on the scene and he was the one that confirmed, yes, there was a burned out car at this location. But the deputy instructed them to return to their home, and because of how bad the body's condition was, it actually took a minute to identify the body. And also, because of how bad the body's condition was in, it was impossible to determine how the victim was killed.
That's also something that tends to happen a lot. So the body was in the burnt out car? Yeah.
Yes, and I believe, I didn't read it, but I think I heard it on a podcast that they identified the body through dental, which is usually the case.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Later, the police did knock on Marilyn's door, and she said, "That's when they told us that, my mom's car was there where we had been and that her body was in the car. I just remember losing it. I just cried, bawling because I think I was in absolute shock. There seemed to be no reason that she would have been murdered." And Mary was married before. They even, of course, checked the ex-husband because it's usually someone you know.
Yeah.
But her and her ex-husband were on really good terms. So they literally have no suspects in this murder case. Not a one.
No suspects, no motive.
Random. Marilyn was watching the news days later after her mother's murder and heard her mother's name mentioned during a newscast. Quote, "It was like the news crews messed that up, like they got all the details wrong," end quote. But we'll get to that in a minute about the news crews messing up what she believed was messing up the details of the murder.
Imagine.
The only thing that was important to her was when her mom was buried, that she would be buried with her jewelry. Quote, "The funeral home didn't want to put my mom in the coffin. They wanted her to stay in a body bag. That was gruesome. So when I was the only person that saw my mom in the coffin, and when they opened the coffin up, I didn't see her jewelry anywhere," end quote. So Marilyn calls the medical examiner's office and they told her the jewelry would have been picked up with the body. She's like, no, my mom's remains have already been picked up. I need to figure out where her jewelry is and how I pick it up. And they were like, "No, Mary Morris is still here. Let's put you on a hold for a second."
Curious.
So when I get back on the phone with Marilyn, that's when she finds out that there was another Mary Morris at the Harris County Medical Examiner's office. So the news crews were talking about the other Mary Morris murder.
So this part makes me a little confused. Maybe it'll be a little more clear later on because you think the husband is the clear suspect. So I guess what I'm wondering is, because you did tell me a very little bit about this at work, and you said that they killed the wrong Mary or something like that. So I'm thinking, if it was the husband, why would he kill the wrong Mary?
No, not the husband. Like, he didn't physically do it. You ever heard of a hitman?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's all making sense now.
Yeah, he didn't get his hands dirty. Let's just put it that way.
Right. Because he's a big pussy. Excuse my language.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously they couldn't find any evidence it was him. That's why I'm going to let you decide what you believe. I think he was very much involved.
Yep. I wonder what the statistics are there, as far as like how often it is the person closest to you that ends up doing this heinous shit. Very high. Way too high.
In the 90s?
Yeah, at least.
And the guy on the show in Bizarre Murders, he said, I've been with the FBI for 25 years, and usually the killer is someone you know. And he even said it's like a 90, I wish I remember the percentage, but let's just say it's like a 98% chance it's someone you know. Like, it's a crazy high number.
Yeah, and I feel like most random attacks or murders like this the person has no real reason to do it. It's either they have lost their minds, or maybe they got caught robbing somebody comes home at the wrong time, something like that. But otherwise, it's usually motive driven and usually passionate. It's crazy how often it happens. It's scary.
And again, with the show, they played it out as the husband did it, because I truly believe that's what they think happened. So that's how they portrayed the episode to be. I'm just saying. 3 days later, after the first Mary's death, so this is October 16th, the body of 39-year-old Mary Morris was found in her car in nearly the exact same spot under nearly the exact same circumstances.
That's not sus at all.
No.
What's going on here?
So police began looking into Mary's life. This Mary, she was a nurse practitioner in charge of several clinics for a major industrial corporation. The police did find out that she had feared a man that she worked with at her nursing job. Like, I guess one evening she found her office in chaos, like picture frames were even turned over, and Mary noticed that the man's desk had "death to her" written on it. She allegedly told her husband Mike that she was very afraid of the man and that she wanted a gun for protection. Her husband, he shows her how to use a gun, and he places the gun under her car driver's seat. What a guy. A few weekends later, Mary met her friend Lori at the clinic to give her an allergy shot. And Lori said, she seemed fine. She was like, she was going to stay a few more hours at the clinic, run a few errands, and then she was going to go home and make dinner. That was her plan for the day. But later that afternoon, she did make an alarming phone call to Lori. She told Lori she had seen someone in the drugstore that gave her the creeps.
Somebody's watching her.
She said that she was going to return to work, sign up her computer, and just head home because she was scared. And then 12 minutes later, she made a frantic 911 call. And during the 911 phone call, she was apparently abducted and attacked by someone. And then she was found dead soon afterward.
It's interesting that when people have a feeling like that they're being followed or watched, that their instinct is to go home for safety. Because I feel like that's probably the least safe place you could possibly go in a situation like that, especially if you've been being watched. They probably know the layout of your home. They probably know when people come and go, when the neighbors come and go. I don't know. I feel like if you have a feeling like that, you shouldn't go home. You should go to a friend's house or to a loved one's house or something. I don't know. But I mean, probably don't know until things happen. So it's just interesting that that's the safe place.
Well, she didn't even make it home. It sounds like the person got her after she left work. So who knows if it was in the parking lot, if he was in the car waiting for her, which is really creepy. I don't know.
Ew, I feel like that happens a lot too in a lot of stories. It's really shitty that I'm an expert on these things, but a lot of times shit goes down in parking lots.
Well, I mean, be an expert about it because it makes you more aware.
Yeah.
It makes you more aware, right?
Absolutely.
And they say, too, if you have something on your windshield, even if it's like eggs or something, get in your car. Do not wipe it down or mess with it because they did that for a reason. And when you mess with it, that's when someone will grab you. Just leave it on the windshield. Mm-hmm.
This is the world we live in, guys.
Unfortunately. Just be aware of your surroundings. That is our advice.
Our unsolicited advice.
That you probably didn't even want from us, but here you go.
You're welcome.
Been doing enough cases to know. It is, and people be creepy, man.
True that.
You see how many documentaries and unsolved cases out here?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Too many to count. It's not okay.
The medical examiner determined that she had been beaten and shot to death. The killer tried to stage the scene to make it look like a suicide. Okay. But investigators found blood on the passenger door, which was left open, and the keys were outside the car.
I find that laughable when a lot of times in these cases where people try to stage it as a suicide, but the things that happen to the body, to the victim, and there's no way that it could possibly could have possibly done that to themselves. Like you said, it looked like she'd been beaten and shot to death. Like she's gonna beat herself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even in movies where they make it look like a suicide and they get away with it, I'm like, okay, that would not really fly in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Our forensics are amazing these days.
Yes, they are. Getting better every day, too.
Apparently not amazing in this case. The police I feel like the police dropped the ball on this just by like the comments they make, but that happens a lot in cases. No offense to police officers. Police had two suspects in this Mary's murder. The co-worker that sent her that death note, and then her husband, Mike.
That is a strange coincidence if the co-worker didn't have anything to do with it. Just the timing.
Yeah, and maybe the co-worker hired a hitman, but I still think it's the husband, and we'll get into why I think that. But along with the apparent death threat, the co-worker had left on bad terms, quitting his job after several failed attempts to discredit Mary. So if he already left his job, it wouldn't make sense to go back and kill her, in my opinion, unless he's that pissed off. But if he was that pissed off, I feel like he probably would have done it himself instead of maybe hiring someone. And investigators say that they may have evidence to link the co-worker to the crime, but I couldn't find exactly what evidence they're talking about. And then you have Mike, her husband, and he was like, well, it wasn't me. I was at the movies with our daughter, Katie, who was 15 at the time of the murder.
Coming up with an alibi.
Yeah. And he says, no, I will not take a polygraph test. And no, you can't interview my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, Mike. But Katie did say, she's like, yeah, we attended the movie. And when we came home, my mom wasn't home. She should have been home already. The dogs were still in their kennel. So it was obvious something was not right. Katie said her dad reached out to Mary's friend, who she'd been with that day. And that was the friend earlier I talked about, Lori, the one that said, was like, yeah, she seemed fine, before she called her and was like, there's someone at the drugstore. That gave me the creeps. Oh, did I mention he also hired an attorney shortly after the murder?
Covering all his bases. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did Mary feel like somebody was watching her at the drugstore? Was it the
Earlier
day before?
That day.
It was the same day?
No, it was the same day.
Okay.
I believe it was the same day. It was just earlier in the day. I could be wrong. Could be the day before. But I think it was the same day because Lori said, yeah, I saw her that day. She seemed fine. But that was also before she called Lori back and told her like, oh, hey, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm getting scared that someone's following me and he's giving me the creeps or whatever. So I believe it was the same day. Because she was like, I'm just going to go home, make dinner, whatever, but she never obviously made it home. Investigators discovered that he and Mary were having problems with their marriage.
Imagine.
Red flags are waving, my friend.
Everywhere.
And shortly before she was murdered, he confronted her about an alleged affair that she was having with a friend.
Yeah, this is just getting more and more obvious that it was the husband.
And what I'm about to say next is why I think it was the husband and not the coworker. Because investigators also discovered that there was a life insurance policy on her that totaled to $700,000.
There it is.
And one more thing. Investigators discovered that Mike had actually called Mary's cell phone around the time she was murdered. And that call lasted for 4 minutes. And so they believe that he might have been calling the killer. But of course, Mike is like, yeah, I called her, but she didn't answer. And oh yeah, that 4 minutes was a mistake on the phone company's part. What a guy. So obviously, some suspect that due to the similarities in these two cases, a contract may have been put out on Mary's life, but that the killer accidentally killed Mary Lou, the first Mary, and then later corrected his mistake. Like, oh shit.
Can't undo that one.
No. In the show, it's funny, and I shouldn't use the word funny, but he kills the first woman, and then he texts her husband and was like, hey, job's done, like sends her a pic, or I don't know if he sends her a picture. No, he doesn't. Job's done or whatever. And so he goes out and he parties and gets drunk because he's so excited that his wife was murdered. And he comes home and she's making dinner. And he was like, what the So he was like, who did you kill? He's like, you killed the wrong woman. And so he sends the guy a picture of him and his wife, and the guy was like, oh shit.
You would have to be the world's worst hitman to make a mistake like that.
That's what they kind of make him out to be, really stupid. Kind of like a Craigslist killer. That's where he got him off of, basically.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, they had probably sent him photos of who he's supposed to target. Like, he should have known very well what she looked like, what her routine was like, and all he was basing it on was a name. That's ludicrous.
Yeah, because when he finally gets back online and looks up all the Mary Morrises, there's so many of them, he was like, oops. But in reality, if he stopped at the first murder, because he messed up, not that he didn't get away with it because it's unsolved, but there's no connection to a random person killing a random person. You know what I mean?
Right.
He would have completely gotten away with it. They would have never solved it. So what would be the reason to go back and correct your mistake, right? If you're going to get paid, is I guarantee you that insurance policy.
This is reminding me of a case where it was the wife who hired a hitman for the husband. And somehow he found out that she had hired a hitman. And so he played along with it and like got the police involved and everything. And so they knew the whole situation. Bugged him, bugged whoever was supposed to be the hitman because he turned on the chick. And then at the end, he even staged his own death and took photos of it and sent the photos to her. The guy, the hitman, that's right, the hitman, the hired hit, was actually a cop. So,
it usually is.
Yeah. So the whole time he's acting like he's gonna do this, and then they eventually arrest her because, I mean, clearly it's attempted murder, and that's very serious. Even though she didn't do it, she thought she did, and she was perfectly fine with it, so they locked her up.
She probably got a long sentence too.
I'm pretty sure it was the equivalent of if she had actually carried through with the murder.
It should be. You literally
absolutely
are trying to find someone to murder somebody.
Just like that guy from Ghost Hunters. Is it Ghost Hunters?
His wife? I think it's Ghost Adventurers. Zach Baggins.
Yeah. The Aaron guy. Same thing.
And then she apologized for it. I'm like, you only apologize because you got caught.
Yeah, that's all you're sorry for, is just getting caught, which I feel is the case most of the time in situations like this.
Well, yeah, if it's going to lighten your sentence, be like, okay, I got to look sympathetic. but I'm sad that it was a mistake. Damage is done, sis. But also Mary Lou's wedding ring was missing, which is a sign of a hit because the killer obviously would take it back to the person that hired the hit to ensure that that person was dead. Further supporting this is that the two Marys lived in close proximity and looked a lot alike. And there are pictures of them, they look a lot alike. So this is where it kind of makes me mad. Investigators claim they have found no evidence to support this theory and believe that the murders may have just been a coincidence.
Oh boy.
The victims' families, however, are certain that these cases are related. They're like, hello, even though they remain unsolved. And Mary's wedding ring was also missing from her body. So both Marys had their wedding rings taken.
It's a lot of synchronicities going on here.
So you telling me that two women that look a lot alike, have the same name, live in the same city is just a coincidence?
Are found in pretty similar ways too. Same things missing from their bodies. Come on, guys.
You're
Get
investigators.
it together.
This is where I think they dropped the ball.
What year did this happen?
2000.
No excuse, because forensics were already a thing by this point. So, yeah, they did a shit job. Sorry, guys, but you did.
A few months later, a friend noticed that their daughter was wearing a wedding ring. However, they claim they just found the ring. And I believe this was for Mary Lou's murder, the first Mary's murder.
Oh my God. That's wild. Like all the excuses that they have for this shit, none of it's believable. None of it. Oh, it was the phone company's fault. Oh, we just happened to find the ring because it was misplaced. Okay, guys.
A phone call that lasted for 4 minutes was you probably saying, hey, did you do it? How did you do it? And when did you do it?
Make sure to get a ring.
To prove me right this time. But again, if these cases are not related, like investigators don't believe, then there's literally no suspects for Mary Lou, the first Mary's murder. Nothing. There's nobody. But yet you have suspects in the second Mary's murder, and you can't tell me that one of them messed up? I don't know. Make it make sense to me, I guess.
Yeah, it's not rocket science here. It's pretty obvious.
In 6 months after the first murder, Jay, the first Mary's husband, he received $2,000 in bills for Mary Lou's phone card, and detectives actually traced it to a 16-year-old girl who lived in Galveston. And she told detectives that she found a purse with the card and other belongings the month earlier sitting in the parking lot of a Galveston convenience store. But Mary Lou's family did not recognize the belongings to her, so I'm not sure about that.
It would make sense if it was her belongings, though, because she never made it home.
No, and like he could have just thrown the purse out the window or something.
That's where she got snatched.
And around the same time, Jay received 3 phone calls from someone asking for Mary, and the caller remains unidentified, and it's unknown if they are connected to this case. They still don't know. Marilyn eventually received her mother's jewelry. Most of it was singed in a bag. The only piece that was not destroyed was a heart pendant. So Marilyn had that piece of jewelry refurbished, and she wears it a lot, she says.
Aww.
Quote, "It's heartbreaking because she was a good woman. She was a good wife. I want to know why. I also really do want to know how she died. I want to know that my mom didn't suffer. She was a good mom, and she taught me to take care of your family, take care of your kids, and work hard. The woman she was made me the person I am." End quote. And it sounds like Mary Lou was she's a very good person. She was a person that people cherished. She nurtured life. She had tons of family and hobbies. She also loved cars. She was one of the first woman record drivers in Houston and drove in demolition derbies. That's pretty badass.
That is.
She also loved animals, especially horses. That's when it give a little background on her.
Sounds like she had a really full life.
She just sounded like a really good person. Like, people loved her. She was very nice.
Yeah.
That's why it's so random. Like, who would want this woman dead?
Right.
And this is what Katie Morris said about her mom. Quote, "She was so many things to so many people. I think she was an incredible mom. She was a fantastic daughter and sister, a great friend, great wife. She was a beloved member of our community, our church community, our theater community. She was also a healthcare provider. So much reminds me of my mom, especially now that I have kids of my own. Quote, end quote. And the recording of the 911 call has never been released, but Katie says it captured her mother's final moments. I don't like this part. Quote, I did have the opportunity to listen to it, and the last memory that I have of my mom is her screaming. End quote. She also doesn't believe that her dad had anything to do with the murder. She said, I don't think the relationship was perfect, but I think they were both two people that were willing to work to make that relationship better. I just want peace for my dad. I cannot imagine what he went through, losing his best friend, losing his partner, having to raise a 15-year-old daughter on his own halfway across the country from his family.
I feel like that's the case a lot of the time too with situations like this, is the kids. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Like, they've already lost one parent, they don't want to lose another. And I think a lot of times, even though it's blatantly obvious to everybody else, the kids are blind to it because they don't want to see it, you know? And that's understandable.
I mean, you also don't want to believe it too.
Exactly. I can't imagine what that must be like for them, like, to realize that one of your parents killed the other one. Like, all you've ever known, people that raised you, that you thought loved each other. It's crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my hope is that both of these cases can be solved, that Marilyn and I can both get some peace, not just for ourselves as the daughters of these women, but for the rest of our families. It definitely is a little suspicious to me that this happened. These two women were killed so close together with the same name.
Very odd.
And that's all she wrote.
Well, I hope that they do solve the case, and they probably will, just because forensics are getting so good and genetic genealogy is a huge thing now. If they have anything that they can use, though, like if they have any DNA samples, that's the kicker. So if they don't, they may not ever solve it.
And what's the coincidence? It's like, okay, the first Mary, maybe she was robbed in whatever store she was at by someone random. At the same time, 3 days later, this Mary was killed by, I can't even do it. I can't even make it make sense being a coincidence. Like, I just can't do it. I tried, I can't do it because they died very similar. Both the wedding rings were gone. They had, like, it doesn't, I don't know how investigators, how they don't think it's related. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What do you think? Think it's the husband too?
Seems like it to me. I mean, I can't think of any other scenario that would work. It doesn't seem random to me at all.
Which is also why I don't think it's the coworker, because he would know what Mary looks like.
Exactly. Unless, again, they hired someone. But
True. That's true.
And honestly, okay, I guess the more I think about that situation, that could be an option, because they know the Mary less than the husband would know them, and maybe the information that they would give to a hitman wasn't the most thorough or something. Maybe that could leave room for error. I don't know. But
what would he get out of the murder?
Exactly.
What does he get out of it?
And it comes back to the insurance policy too. Like, there's motive
Like,
there.
right before she was murdered.
There's that, and that she was having an affair and he found out about it. There's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot of things stacking up against the husband for sure.
And you could say that the husband hired the coworker because they both didn't like her, but yet he wouldn't have messed up killing the wrong Mary.
Exactly.
And I feel like the only thing that would have made the murders a coincidence is if they didn't die the same way. So yeah, maybe it was a coincidence that two women with the same name, the same town got murdered if they were different, if the murders were different.
It is weird though, if it is just based off the name. That kind of doesn't make any sense. Like, you would think, unless it was Joe Schmo from the streets, from Craigslist or whatever. But, I mean, it would have to be somebody with no clue. But it can't be, because they didn't get caught. So they had to know something as far as what they were doing to not get caught. I mean, they were able to cover their tracks. So, curious.
It's a bizarre one.
Bazaar. Well, guys, another weird one from Weekly Bazaar. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to keep them coming every week. Thank you all so much for the continued support. We appreciate each and every single one of you. You can find us on all the social medias at Weekly Bazaar Podcast. You can email us if you have any stories that you'd like us to share. You can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/weeklybazaar. We've been uploading more and more over there. Just some silly shenanigans. We are testing the waters each week to see kind of what feels right for us to do, what feels worthy of you guys. And we did one-line horror stories last week, and it was kind of hilarious, to be honest, because we can't take anything seriously. But on top of shenanigans like that, we also have blooper reels there. And yeah, if it sounds like something you want to check out, go check us out on Patreon. We appreciate the support. All right, guys, stay spooky, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next week. And remember, if it's weird,
We're going to talk about it.
bye.
Bye.